What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, today we're going to talk about what happens when shorts go wrong. So, when trying to short a stock, sometimes what you'll do is try to find the top. So, you'll kind of look at a stock and you'll be like, oh, this thing is, way overextended. It looks like it's due for a pullback, so I'm going to get in here for the short. And hopefully it's going to work out for me. Hopefully maybe it'll go a little bit in the other direction and then it'll reject. Well, that's not what happened. So OBLN today looks all right. Or I should say for the short, this is what I was expecting it to do, what it did today. Unfortunately, what I kind of realized afterwards, and this is what happens when you're in the moment, and I'm not an expert, and I'm not even, a good trader, I would say. I'm probably an average, if not below average trader, but I have been trying to learn these strategies, learn these setups, and understand kind of what you're doing, giving kind of, and one of the reasons why you see so many trades here, and I'm trying to not do so many trades, this was really me just being an idiot and just not wanting to accept defeat. That was kind of the biggest thing with this stock, is that I was on the wrong side of it. If I would have just gone long on basically any one of these trades, I probably would have been in the green. But I just kept taking these small paper cuts because I kept trying to short the top. So the first trade I made on it was a good trade. The very first trade I made, and this was back on Wednesday, just so you guys know, the day when it really shot up. It really started. It looked strong. They had some news about a merger, so they were merging with some fitness company or something like that. So there was a good catalyst. So I was kind of like, all right, looking at this thing, maybe if it gets some strength. But right out of the gates, you just saw nothing but selling volume. It was just so weak. So when it kind of rejected here off the VWAP and then came back up, tested, and then you saw this selling pressure, I got in for the short and was able to catch a nice short, a nice 11-cent short there on a $3 stock. That's not bad. That's close to 5%, right? So that's not bad. But then I got into problems. And this next trade, I think I made money too. So these next couple of trades, I think I made money too. So, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I started getting a little, a little upset with myself in this trade, because I started to get into that situation where I made a little bit of money, and then I was starting to get to the point where I was like, okay, this thing is going to be like, it's guaranteed it's going to reject. So then I started shorting it right at the VWAP again. It broke above, and this should have been, the indication to me, like, Mike, this thing is getting way too strong. Don't chase it. Don't keep shorting it. Just walk away. I didn't do that. For some reason, I don't know, and this is, when you do stuff like this, you start to really question whether you can actually make it doing this as a trade. And I have a full-time job, and I have other incomes, like I'm a writer, and I do lots of other things to try to supplement my income, or I should say this is really a side hustle that I'm trying to learn so that I can supplement my income when I'm off and when I have days. But what this is very demoralizing. What happens on days like this is you start to really, and I was up. It was a decent green day. Like, I was up like $40-50 at this rate now, like at about 10 o'clock, 10, quarter after 10. I'm up, and then everything went wrong. And this ended up being the biggest red day that I've had in my trading career. Loss of over $250. In some small paper cuts, other just big losers. Yeah, the worst one by far was this last trade here. So I don't really know like exactly where the trades were, but I was in somewhere around here. And I got out, and then somehow I was holding into this jump up. I think I had like 300 shares or something. So I got in with 300 shares here short. or I was in with 300 or something, and I covered, so that I was only in with 300 at this point, and then I covered 200. So then I was only in with 100 shares. So I figured, hopefully this thing will reject. And I was waiting for a pullback here, and I probably would have sold if it came back down, but it just didn't. And this is really me not respecting my stops. I'd been stopped out so many times. I was just like, you know what, this thing's so overextended at this point. It's gotta reject and then give us a nice, rejection here at least, so I can recoup some of my money. But at the same time, it's basically just beating your head against the wall and expecting, a better result. That's basically what was happening in this. And this is really just emotion, FOMO. And like I said, if I just go long when it breaks the VWAP here, instead of trying to short as soon as it breaks the VWAP, if I just switch my strategy and go long, I'm up $200 instead of down 200, right? And this is where, sometimes being short biased on a stock is not good. And I was short biased on OBLN right out the gates, mainly because it had this merger news, sure, what sounded really good, but then it just looks so weak. So the fact that it looks so weak gave me this kind of idea that, hey, this thing might start to reject. And you can see what it's doing now after it's already, it shot up like 1,000% this day, from $1.50 all the way to 10.77. So this is almost 1,000% it shot up in a day. And, obviously I lost money on it. Other people made lots of money on it. But you can see where I would have wanted to trade it would be in here. I would have wanted to get short here, and then, once the kind of move has happened. Because you can see, you had this shoot up to 10, and then it kind of sold off, and then it tries to come up again. And so you had this skyrocketing parabolic move, and then you had this pullback, and then you had this move up again, and now you have the pullback again. So now it's starting to kind of reject again. So, and who knows, this thing has been so strong that it could come back up against us and now rip it towards the highs. But more than likely it's going to start selling off and a continued downward move. But unfortunately for myself, I was getting in on the upside and trying to short it at the top. And this is, just something you can't do. Something you can learn from my mistakes. It was rough. It was a tough day. I was really mad. I really questioned whether I could continue to keep day trading and actually feel like I was going to be able to make money. The good thing is that the last 2 days have been green. So smaller green days, but they kind of help your confidence. But obviously this, when you have pullbacks that are larger than anything you usually make on the other side, it's rough. And this is the problem with shorting, is that can happen. You need to respect your stops. You need to, I really shouldn't have been shorting it above the VWAP. That was kind of probably my biggest issue with it. This whole area in here, I don't know why, I should have just left it. This would have been okay because it looks like it started to bottom out, and then but this whole area and trading in here was just me just not wanting to give up, being extremely short biased and just constantly throwing my money down the drain basically, and through commissions and this was just such a bad trading day. Just on this stock, really, too. Like, just this just was so bad. So anyway, that's my story on OBLN. Terrible Wednesday, a red day recap for Wednesday. Obviously today's Friday, so I will be going over a few other stocks that I traded yesterday and today in another video. But I just wanted to make this video so I could be transparent and kind of not, it's hard to make these on the day of because you're just so emotional and you kind of just want to walk away, turn everything off. Because like the more I watch charts, the more I want. And it's funny because like at this point here, after I was up like $30-40 at this point, I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know what, let's just walk away for a bit. Let's just walk away, maybe take 1 or 2 more trades, and I'll be done for the day. And then this happened. So that's just kind of the learning strategy, the learning curve, the kind of building your strategies and actually respecting your ideas, respecting your setups, not letting something go against you, and then refusing to accept defeat. And when you're going long, a lot of times it's like, hey, if it breaks the VWAP, I'm out. Where when you're shorting, it's easier to kind of fall into this thinking that like, hey, this could reject because it's been rejecting all day. So once the shorts start getting back in this thing, it's gonna flush, right? And that's one way to think about it. But when you really look at what happened here, you had this kind of rejection from the front, sure, but really the selling volume was bigger than the buying volume, but it really wasn't anything significant. And then once the buying volume starts coming in, it starts to come in massive numbers. And these green candles are just so much bigger than any of the red candles, and they just kind of dominate. So even on some of these red candles, there's probably still a lot of buying volume, people just buying the pullbacks, because this thing never looked back. And so, trading into the long side, and this is something I've been trying to go over with myself. It's like, look, man, if you're getting in and short, and the thing breaks above VWAP and stops you out twice, go long. You know what I mean? Go long and let the VWAP be your stop. And if it can't break below the VWAP, then you're gonna win. And if it breaks below the VWAP again, then stop out and go short again. I mean, it's kind of a weird strategy, but it's one of those that, like, it kind of protects yourself from holding through these big moves against you. So that's just some of my thoughts. Obviously, don't take anything I say as trading advice. Obviously, you can look, I lost $200 and something on Wednesday, so that shows you that I don't necessarily have the best trading skills, but I'm trying to build them, and that's the whole point of this channel. It's not to be like, hey, go and follow my moves or follow my strategies, although you can learn from these strategies, look at them, and then do your own research on these strategies and try to build on them, or look at them and say, hey, this is a stupid strategy, why are you even trying this? But that's for yourself to decide. I'm just showing you my what I did, the mistakes I made, and also the kind of the positives that I end up with after a few days of trading. Some of you have some positives, you have some negatives. You have to kind of show both. So in the next video, I'm going to go over the trades from yesterday and today, and those were good trades. I think I did relatively well today, better than yesterday, but at the same time, green days, right? So we'll go over that other trades in the next video, and please like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this red day recap. Hopefully I don't have too many more of these in the future, but I am going to be going back to work full time in the next couple weeks, so unfortunately I'm going to be not trading as much over the next month or so. So we'll see how that goes. Fridays I will be off, so I will be able to trade Fridays, so I'll be back with you guys Fridays. Maybe I'll do a live stream Fridays. We'll see if my streaming and my internet and my computer will cooperate, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and please hit that like button, and we'll be back at you with another video soon. Thanks.